Okay, now we're going to practice the adding, subtracting, plus negative. And then adding is the two long fractions, because I need to change these if I expect to add. LCD and answer. Okay, I don't have any pluses or minuses, any of these, so these are all just going to drop. Okay, they're all just going to carry down. Okay, now I have no parentheses, so I need to put multiplication dots between the factors, so 3 and x. Don't put a multiplication sign here because the second power is connected to the x. And then 4 to x. So what's first factor? We got outer 3. If it's not in parentheses, we're going to call it outer. Now, the next factor is x to the second, but I don't write outer x to the second. I don't care what power it is. If it's not in parentheses, we just title it outer x. Outer 4, don't have that yet. This is x, but I already have outer x down. I'm going to tell you what that we're going to do with that. Outer 3, we got 1 and 0. So they both need 1. So I need to multiply by 3. Multiply by 3. Outer x, now that one being to the second power means there's actually 2 outer factors of x. This is to the first power, so there's only 1. Well, we need to make it so there's 2. So what you can do is you can simply make that to the second, but then you need to times by an x up here. Now outer 4, you got 0, 1. Okay, so I need them so they both have 1. Well, that one had it, this one didn't. Now, here's your circle one of the denominators. Now, I want you to simplify those factors because there are no parentheses. You simply take 4 times 3, which is 12, and the only x I have is to the second power. It's not hard to do. Okay, and then this crap, I'm going to tell you right now, it's 32 plus negative 15x. There's no really distribution because there's no parentheses. So 8 times 4 plus negative 5 times 3 times x variable. Negative 15x plus 32. Bingo. Okay, next up. All these are addition, okay? Okay, all this stuff can just be carried down. I don't need any parentheses because there's no pluses, no minuses, okay? So now, but with the outer factor, you got to separate your factors with the dots. 5 to x, 6 times x. So we have outer 5. We have outer x. We have outer 6. And outer x, but I already have that. Okay, so outer 5, I got 1 here and 0 here. So we're going to times by 5, times by 5. Outer x, 1 and 1. I'm good. Okay, they both have the same amount. That's good. Outer 6, 0, and 1. Okay, so I times 6 times 6. Now, you got your common denominator, but I want it simplified because you can take 6 times 5, which is 30, and this is the only x you have. It'd be to the first, so I'm just going to put x. Then it's just simply 12 times 6 plus 7. Heck, I can use a regular calculator to do that. 12 times 6 plus 7 times 5. 107. Don't worry about reducing it, any of that garbage. Okay, next up. Drop it. No plus or minus, drop it. No plus or minus, drop it. That has a minus, so we need to see if that factors, which it has a good chance it's going to. Throughout this standard, you should have the Math Papa open and the GCF calculator. Now, just a little, I don't care how much you play around on this, okay? GCF here, negative in front, nope. X on everything, yep. Okay, 9 and 12, the greatest common factor is 3. Here, I'll show you. So 3. So we yank out a 3x, then when I go divide. Remember, when I'm dividing by x, I should get x to cross out. So it's going to be 3x minus 4. Now you do have the minus, but x isn't even to the second, so I don't look at anything else. So I need to rewrite that as 3x times 3x minus 4. And the 3x minus 4 needs its parentheses. Okay, LCD. So first off, set up your dots. Remember, don't put a dot there. That second power's to the x. Put a dot, and then we're good. Okay, so the first factor is outer 3. Remember, don't put outer x to the second. We just put outer x. Okay. Outer 3 I've already got. Outer x I've already got. And then we have the parentheses, 3x minus 4. Okay, those are the 3 things. Outer 3, I got 1 and 1. Outer x, I have 2. That second power just means there are 2 of them, because x squared is x times x. That would be 2 x's. This only has 1. So again, I need to get them to 2. Well, if I already got 1 there and I need to get them to 2, we just put a second here. And you can just put a second right there. Okay. 3x minus 4, I've got 0 and 1. Okay, get them both to 1. Times 3x minus 4 times 3x minus 4. Okay, LCD's right here. Now look outside. You just have the number 3. Don't multiply it by unless there's another outside number. And then the only x outside's to the second. Then I just put the parentheses that's there. Okay, so I'll be taking 1 times, you can just hit whoops, wrong calculator. So 1 parentheses 3x minus 4, close it, and then plus, then x to the second. Remember to do the second, you hit shift 6, 2, then you got to hit the side arrow to get out of that exponent. Okay, x squared plus 3x minus 4. Now, if I want to be a real jerk, I could make us factor the trinomial, because this one does factor, because there are 2 factors of 4 that give you a difference of 3 would be 1 and 4, but I'm not going to do that. All right. Make that plus, then we put a 1 and that goes negative, but then the 5 has to go positive, okay? That's everything in the top, in the numerator of the second fraction just changes opposite. LCD. Parentheses, 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 and away we go. This one's a pain in the butt. This one, there'd be no GCF, and it's clearly not a DOPS, okay, so I just drop that. Now I go over here. Now this one does have a GCF, because what's our rule if there's a negative in the front? DOPS. The rule is that the GCF's negative. Now I real well aware the GCF's 1, but since it's negative 1, we actually want to write the binomial, so now it's positive 1x minus 5. Minus is there, but without the second power, it can't be a DOPS. So I am actually going to go through and rewrite this. Negative 1 times the parentheses of 1x minus 5. Also, when I say quantity, that means parentheses. Negative 1 times quantity, 1x minus 5. Okay, then we have trinomials here. Those better be able to be factored, or I'm in a world of hurt. Okay. GCF here is 1, okay? But I know the T table's coming up. So 1 times negative 8 is negative 8, difference of 2. 1 and 8, no, 2 and 4, yep. Okay, that 2 right there is negative. Okay, so 4 is negative, and we have a difference here and with a negative, so the signs have to be the opposite. Okay, remember 1x squared and x squared are the same, so if a is just simply a 1x squared, we know it's x plus 2, x minus 4. Okay, so x plus 2, x minus 4. Put a times sign between them, please. And then x to the second minus 12x plus 32. T-chart problems, I'm going to start just giving you the numbers that they are. You're going to have to figure out those on your own when you're working. GCF's 1. No negative. You don't have x on everything. Okay, a times c, it's 32. Trying to come up with two factors of positive 32 that add up to, or give me a sum of 12. 12's negative. Okay, it's 4 times 8. That's 32. And given the fact 12's negative, we need 8 to be negative, and the positive means they have to be the same. Now, a is just a 1, so we make those x minus 4, x minus 8. Okay, LCD time. You got the parentheses factor of x plus 2, the parentheses factor of x minus 4, another parentheses factor of x minus 4, which I already have, and then parentheses of x minus 8. So x plus 2, we got one of those factors here, but none here. So we need to make it so they each have 1. Okay, x minus 4, 1 here, 1 here. We're good. X minus 8, none here, 1 here. Okay, so x minus 8, x minus 8. Okay, here we go. So we have x minus 4 times x minus 8 times x plus 2. Okay, now good thing I got Math Papa for this one. Parentheses x plus 3, otherwise I'd have to FOIL both sides. That'd be miserable. To parentheses x minus 8 plus, especially this one, you'd have to distribute the negative 1 in here and then FOIL it. Yeah, no thanks. Negative 1. Can't be done. It just takes forever. And then parentheses x plus 2. Simplifies everything for you. Negative 2x minus 14. Again, if I wanted to be a real jerk, I'd make you factor out a negative 2 GCF, but I won't do that. Okay, I'm going to go over 2 more here. Okay, you can drop the 5 and the 35. There's no sense trying to take those to scratch paper. That makes no sense. So 5's dropped, 35's dropped. I'm pretty sure x plus 2 is, it's a parentheses, but I don't think, I mean, there's no GCF, and it's not even a minus, okay? Now that's a trinomial, so that better be factorable. Okay, 3 terms. GCF table. GCF, do we have a negative in front? It doesn't look like it. X on everything, nope, 1's GCF. So we need to come up with 2 factors of negative 10 that can give me a difference of 3, which is negative. 2 and 5, okay. And that's it. Now 3 being negative means our 5's negative, and having a negative product means the signs have to be opposite. Okay, and a is simply a 1, so I just need 2, x plus 2, x minus 5. Okay, so we got x plus 2, x minus 5. 1, 1. So we're good there, but then x minus 5 has none here but 1 here, so they both have to have 1. Again, you can't take them away, okay? You're like, well, what if I just took this away? Can't do it. Okay, now I have my common denominator. That's been found. X plus 2 times x minus 5. Okay, and right here we're going to have 5. I could actually do this one in my head. It's 5x plus 10 because you have 5x minus 25 plus 35. Negative 25 plus 35 is 10. So 5 Okay, 5x plus 10. Again, if I wanted to be a real jerk, I would make you do a GCF of 10. GCF of 5, that'd become 1x plus 2, and actually those would cancel out, okay, in a textbook problem. That's fine. Okay, I'm going to do two more. I'm actually going to do number 1 with you on the problem. So, plus, make the 5 negative. Again, a plus means extend it. This one can drop down. The other ones need to be factored. X plus 2 can't be factored. There's no GCF. It's not a dot. So, I mean, the GCF's 1, because you put a 1x. 1 and 2 is 1. There's no x on everything. So just keep it the same. Okay, now beneath that, you got 4x, 1x to the second, plus 4x plus 3. And that's 3 terms, so that this better be able to be written in parentheses form. About 2 binomials. GCF, no negative, x on everything, nope. 1, 4, and 3 is 1. So 1 times 3 is 3, positive. Sum of 4, which is positive. 1 and 3, boom. Okay, the 4 being positive makes our 3 positive. We have a positive product, so the signs have to be the same. Okay, so A is 1. Okay, so x plus 1 times x plus 3 is how that's rewritten. Both have to go in parentheses. They are both parentheses factors. X squared minus 9, I can do something with that. Maybe not with the GCF, but it looks like adopts to me. Negative in front, nope. X on everything, nope. 1. This is definitely adopts. We have a minus. X is to the second, so 1's a perfect square. And 9 is a perfect square as well. Okay, so we got 1x plus 3 multiplied by 1x minus 3. By the way, if you have 1x, if you just want to put it as x, that's fine. It's up to you. Okay, LCD time. We've got the parentheses x plus 1, the parentheses of x plus 3. Remember, 1x plus 3 is the same as x plus 3. 1x minus 3 is completely different. Okay, the minus plus operator is changing, means they're separate factors. X plus 1, I got 1 and 0. So they need to both have 1. X plus 3, 1 and 1. We're good. 1x minus 3, I have none and 1. Put that right here. Doesn't matter where it goes as long as it's there. Okay, so I circle my denominator. So I have 3 factors this time in the denominator. It's a pretty long denominator. Okay, now roll that into the calculator. So I've got the parentheses x plus 2, close it. The parentheses 1x minus 3, close that, plus negative 5x, parentheses x plus 1. Okay, negative 4x squared minus 6x minus 6. Good, if I wanted to be a jerk, I'd have you GCFT chart this. Yeah. Okay, I said I'd do this one with you, because this one's ends up kind of messy at the end. Actually, the only thing I have to parenthesize here, I can just carry everything else over. But that one, we got to see if it factors. Two terms, so GCF. And the GCF is 3x. You don't have the negative, they both have x. So that becomes 1x plus 1. It's not a dots because of plus. You can't have dots with a plus sign. Okay, so I put 3x times the parentheses factor of 1x or x plus 1. Okay, LCD is a little bit challenging here because other teachers would actually do this differently than me. Okay, so put dots between your factors. Remember, 3x outside means 3 dot x. So we have outer 9. Remember, outer x squared, there's no such thing as outer x squared, it's outer x. Outer, I already got outer 3, I already got outer x, so I just take the parentheses 1x plus 1. Outer 9, we got 1 and 0. Okay, so we got to get these both so they have 1. Well, I got to get outer 3 too, I forgot about him. Okay, so this one's a 1 without any, so I need to times 9, just times 9 there. And then times 9 there. Outer x, having x to the second means there are 2, and having just x means there's 1. So I put a second, and then there's an x up here I can also put a second on. So parentheses 1x plus 1, I have 0 and 1. So they both need 1. So I need to bring a new factor here of 1x plus 1. Okay, and we also got outer 3. Okay, so that has no outer 3's, and that has 1. Okay, so I'm just going to times by 3 here, and times by 3 here. Now, what some teachers would have you do, instead of putting outer 3, outer 9, they would just have you multiply 3 by 3 to create a 9, and then by 3 up here, but, you know, it's something you got to kind of see. Okay, now, here's my common denominator, but I want it in simplest form. We have a parentheses 1x plus 1, but I need to simplify the outside. 9 times 3 is 27, and then I have an x out there that's to the second. All right, then we're going to take 3 times 7. If you want to put 21 right away, that's fine. 3 times 7, parentheses 1x plus 1, close it, plus x to the second, so I go x. Remember, the power is shift 6, okay? And I hit 2, but then you got to hit this arrow, otherwise you're still typing into the power, times 9. Okay, and I ended up with 9x to the second plus 21x plus 21. Could GCFT that, but nah. Okay, that one's kind of an ugly looking problem. Okay, the rest of them you should be okay with. 2, 3, and 4.